Hey guys, so it's been a little while since I have blogged or vlogged or really done much of anything creative. But for those of you who follow me or are friends with me, like I have followers, for those of you who are friends with me on Facebook, you've probably picked up on the fact that I'm traveling again. So I thought I would jump on here. I'm feeling a little chatty today, and give an update and kind of share kind of what I've been thinking, where my head has been over the last couple weeks. So I'm in Colorado. I'm way up high, about 10,000 feet, and I left about 3.5 weeks ago. So I've been here for almost 3 weeks now. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks, I believe. Yeah. And many of you know that I traveled full-time for about 1.5 years in 2017 and 18. And I never really explained what happened. I did write a blog about it, I believe. But it was October I was living in my travel trailer, in my RV. So I think, I'm not really sure. Well, there was a combination of things that made me decide to stop traveling for a while. A big part of it was just feeling like lonely and wore out. Traveling by yourself is a lot of work with an RV. You know, and especially the way I like to travel, which is I like to camp off-grid, you know, so you're constantly having to pay attention to your battery source, your battery, your solar, how much sun you've got for the day, where you are on propane, how your generator looks, where you are on gas, you know, cell signal, because I have a business to run still. And it was just a lot. There was a big learning curve in the beginning. I left Florida with this travel trailer, and really didn't know what I was doing at all. Like, I look back and it makes me chuckle, because there was so much to learn, and I knew that there was going to be a learning curve. I probably didn't know it was going to be quite as big of a learning curve as it was, but there was a lot of just, you know, things that popped up that I had to learn quickly. I had to problem solve. It was kind of like stressful, and there was definitely some anxiety. I took a big leap out of my comfort zone, you know, to make that happen. So when I decided to stop traveling, I really just wanted a break, you know. So I rented a house in the Carolinas, and I've been there for 2 years now, almost. And with the exception of like my summer travel, I've been in one place, you know, well, 2 places. I rented 2 different houses. And there's a phenomenon that happens to me when I'm in a house, and it's like the walls start closing in on me. I start to feel just like I start to wilt, you know. I start to get unhappy, and probably I become unhappy because left to my own devices, what I do when I'm in a house is become a hermit. You know, I just kind of stop doing stuff. I just throw myself into work, and it's like all I do is work, go to the gym, work, go to the gym, work, go to the gym, you know. And having traveled and having really experienced living, that just doesn't work for me, you know. My set point is different now. What I expect and what I want out of my life is different. So I have enjoyed the convenience of having a house, you know, the big fenced backyard and long luxurious showers and all of those niceties. But I don't think it's for me. And I've been feeling this way for I don't know, several months now. So when I left for this trip, I asked the universe, God, whatever loaded term you want to give your higher power, to kind of, not kind of, to totally give me direction. You know, I don't want to go through the process of moving my life back onto the road if it's not what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, because there's a lot involved with that. I have now a big house full of furniture, because that's what we do. When we get houses with lots of space, you have to fill the rooms up, right? So I spend a lot of money on furniture that I really love, but it's furniture, you know? So for me to go back on the road, I'd have to empty that house out for when I have to sell everything off. I definitely would want to get a bigger rig, because my little 21-foot trailer, which by the way, I filmed a tour video that I will post soon, so you guys can see the inside of it. And it's perfect for me, and it was perfect for me when I had a 25-pound Cocker Spaniel, which is the situation that, that was my situation when I left Florida, to go on this RV adventure. And then she passed, and I got Lola, and now I have Lucy, so I've got two 65-pound dogs, and it's a small space, you know. It's a small space for all of us. So it's not realistic for the long term. I wouldn't be happy. And I really want to have like a separate sleeping area. I want to be able to compartmentalize a little bit, you know, my workspace from my space, right? But anyway, so upgrading to a fifth wheel, which is what I would do, would require me to then upgrade my truck, because I just have a half-ton Silverado right now. So I'd probably need, like, I probably would get a full ton. So there's a lot to think about. And so when I am kind of in a situation where I'm trying to make a decision, I try on all the different options for size in my head, you know, and try to imagine myself in these different situations, and I pay attention to how I feel. You know, do I feel peace? Does it feel good? Or am I anxious? Is it stressful? And so I've tried on in my mind like buying a house, and that doesn't fit me. So I've tried on like buying property, which I'm way more into that. Buying property and maybe eventually building a house. And I've tried on upgrading my rig and going back to travel. And that's the one that feels, that's the one that brings me the most peace and excitement, you know? So I think that's the direction I'm gonna go. I still have some time to chew on it. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. In the meantime, I'm going to try to actually, I'm really gonna put a concerted effort into doing some videos and documenting stuff, because I would like to share the adventure with you guys. And that's what is so cool about being on the road, is that every day is an adventure, and as soon as it starts to get stale, I move somewhere else, you know. And something else, just on a little bit on that beat, is another reason why I really like traveling, is it forces me out of my shell. You know, I'm out in the world. I can't like lock myself in anywhere, you know. So I'm outgoing, and I'm meeting people, and I'm doing stuff, and it's just like I'm the best version of myself. I'm a happier person, I'm kinder, I'm more patient. But something else I've noticed is that my perception of time is very different when I'm on the road. In that it seems to slow down significantly. And the first time I noticed this was when I did the Transamerica. which I spent, you know, 2.5 months bicycling across the country. And I distinctly remember getting back to Florida after the trip, and it had been 2.5 months since I had finished the ride. And I looked at the calendar and I was shocked that it had been 2.5 months already, because that 2.5 month period of time, they were equal periods of time, right? But the one on the road felt so long and stretched out, and not like long in a bad way, like long in this like just soaking up life way, you know, smelling the roses way. And I have discovered that when you give yourself time to do the things you love and you slow it down a little bit, that time itself slows down. And the older I get, it feels like time is accelerating. And I think that the only reason it feels that way, and probably a lot of you can relate, is that our lives just become so busy. You know, we don't ever have time to slow down, and so we're always go, go, go. So then time is just speeding by us. And, you know, I don't want time to speed by. There's a lot of living I have left to do. There's a lot of things I want to see. There's a lot of adventures I want to have. And so I want to stretch my time out on this planet. And I think the most effective way to do that is to slow my life down a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to hike tomorrow morning, as long as the smoke clears up. It's still pretty smoky today. We've got a couple big wildfires going on in Colorado, so the smoke has blown in over the last couple days to where I'm staying. But I'd really like to get up a couple of peaks before I head out. My next stop is going to be Montana. The real dilemma for me is trying to decide if I'm going to take both dogs on a 14er. Which I would be pretty crazy to do that. Like, that would be pretty tough. But I am pretty crazy, so I probably will do it. And I have a GoPro, which I'm really excited about, so I will definitely record and share some of that hike with you. I also got a drone, and I learned how to fly. Well, let me rephrase. I took it off on its first flight yesterday. I wouldn't say I know how to fly it, but I will practice, and hopefully I'll be able to get some cool aerial footage to share as well. Okay, so that's it. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll check back in soon.